What's up? How's it going? Who's here? Who's here? Phenomenal turn up belays, the real C. Miller. Alka rolls text, wanted. What's up? Animal. Animal's not here. Yeah, but it's because I'm an exhibitionist. Right on, Ted. Kill music. What's up? Let's just get right into it, shall we? Show Reaper. Go Cam 8. Hey, some things have changed. So let's talk about it. And then let's work it out. Check this out, dude. Check this out. Hello? Hello? Why is it delayed now? I'm delayed. Why am I delayed? I should absolutely be coming out. This is what's hilarious about this is that this wasn't happening at all. Okay, there we go. There we go. I wonder if that's a bug or something. That was weird, dude. That was real weird. Okay, the gate's a little too hardcore on that bad boy. What was that? What was that? Show cams. Turn on months. Jack Bob Plays. You've just resubscribed for 15 months. That's more than a complete rotation. That's more than a complete rotation. That's more than a complete rotation. A complete rotation. What the? Oh! Turn on other. That's more than a complete rotation. Do I need to turn anything else on? Turn on prefix. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. That was weird, little doobly-doobs. Little doobly-doobs there. Little doobly-doobs. Now, doobly-doobs is not actually inside of that, so I have to say doobly-doobs. I'm gonna have to remember that. We gotta transition the whole voice system over to the other system because I have to tell you, the new system is pretty cool. Dude, bro. Are you seeing what's happening yet? Are you noticing what's happening? I fell in a well of analog effects processing, Miller. The alerts are echoing too. Hold up, that doesn't make any sense. The alerts are echoing too? Really? Oh, you mean because of the double hit. God, you're too fast for me, Alka. Jack Bob Plays. Via Twitch Prime, no less. Coming in with the 15 months. Dude, well, that did a 5 months for some reason, but... Well, that's interesting. It didn't say 5 months when I said 5 months, but now it did. When I said 5 months, it did it. But really, you resubscribed for 15 months. Teens. I'm just not speaking clearly, I guess. You resubscribed for 15 months. See, I just have to speak clearly. You know what? If I speak clearly, everything's fine. It's a work in progress, this voice control system. Anyway, if I go back in here now and I mute this. So check this out, dude. Dude, this is so sick. This is so sick. Thank you, Jack Bob. Appreciate it. Show audio setup. So, dude, look at this thing. First of all, let me show it to you. Let me show you the actual physical device, because we have a physical device in the system now. Show cams. Show cams. Do you see it? It's the one underneath the tuner with all those new little green, orange, red lights. Toggle work lights. Check it out. It's a Lexicon MX200. This thing came out in 2005. I think it was 2005. The manual said 2005. Anyway, it's in the system. You know what I'm using for the first time and I've never used ever in my entire life before? SPDIF connection. I'm using a... It's because I said you know what, and then it did the thing after I said that. I got to be careful about that. Real careful. Go Cam 2. Toggle work lights. Those are the work lights. They're so bright. I use those when I'm like doing cabling stuff and whatnot. Anyway, I got that off eBay. 2005. Dude said it worked fine, so I got it in here. And there's this plugin. Show audio setup. Show Reaper. There's this plugin that they built for it, like a VST. Go Cam 8. There's this VST they built for it like back in the day, but because it's so old, it's like 32 bit, so it has to open up bridged, and then it like, it's weird, and it costs a little extra processing, and I'm just like, I'm not into that. And we also have AI now, and AI can just like build stuff. So I had AI build my Lexicon 200 MIDI controller plugin. So I'm connected via MIDI, just simply on channel 1. And then the CC values are associated with settings with the Lexicon inside of it that came from the factory. I'm sorry, I'm going to be sniffling today. I don't know. I got like allergies or something. It's weird. I've felt so good lately, but yeah, just all of a sudden I'm sniffling today. Anyway, so we built this sucker. Let me get it out of the thing with the deal so we can just see it. I feel like my camera's just a little too large. Hold on. Not everything's about the camera, bro. Okay. So check this out. It's associated with all the envelopes. I had to go through, it took me a few hours to like actually get this working, but we'll demo it on my current voice. So right now it's just a large haul on both, but I'm going to just go ahead and bypass the second effect. And so now we're just working with the first effect, and, check this out. You just drag the envelope lines. So these are all the CC lanes for it. So on any like song in any place, anywhere, I can just put this plug in here. It connects directly to it. It connects via SPDIF, and it has this other plugin called RIA Insert. So it sends out to the Lexicon via SPDIF, and it has a MIDI connection, and then it comes back from the Lexicon via SPDIF. If you don't know what SPDIF is, I didn't either. I never used it my whole life. I never used it. I always saw it on the back of like hardware, and I was just like, what even is that thing? That's such a weird connection. And I used to see it all the time. Never looked it up, never cared. SPDIF is like a digital audio connection between pieces of gear, so you don't have to go out analog. So I don't have to go out with actual analog cables and do a digital audio to conversion to go to the box and then come back into Reaper. it just goes out digital to the lexicon, does all the processing digitally, then comes back digitally from the lexicon, and then it transfers to audio inside the actual Reaper session. So there's no conversion from digital log to analog and analog back to digital. It's awesome. I never realized that's what it was, but that's what SPDIF is. And there's basically no latency. I think it adds like, it looks here, the reported latency from the lexicon is 24 samples, which is basically nothing. I didn't look it up. I meant to look up the calculation for that, but it's basically nothing. So now I have an outboard effects processor that's running in real time, pretty much zero latency, and it's all processing outside of the Reaper machine. So I don't have to use anything inside the Reaper machine for delay or reverb on live tracks. And it's just so simple. So like, this is the envelope for the effect type. So I just start dragging it, and then you'll see the display changes on what the effect is, and it actually changes the effect. And so now we're in a room, chamber, gated, and this is all analog. This is, well, it's not analog. It's a digital machine, but it's an outboard box doing this. Reverse, vocal hall, vocal plate, drum hall, drum plate, ambiance. Welcome to Balenciaga. I like ambiance. Studio, arena. Hey! A spring reverb. Studio delay. Now, the cool thing about the studio delay stuff is you've got your, because we're connected via MIDI and I'm sending the clock out, it'll actually sync up with the clock. So if I hit play real quick, okay, now we are actually on the tempo of what the session is, and then I can drag this guy right here. Yo, This is a test. The test begins now. Actually, I'd have to go, the test begins now. Because then this is the feedback line. So you can make it go forever. As soon as it goes to 127, it stops taking that input. So I go, I didn't say that. I did not say 127 months. I didn't say 120 months either. All right, there you go. I went to, see, now that I'm at 127 with the feedback, it's not accepting any more input because it's gonna go forever. But the second you bring it back down at all, it accepts it again. And it's an extremely long feedback. Oh, but you can hear ducking is on. So you can turn that off. So it just does the entire delay, or you can turn it on serious ducking. So that's exciting. And this is all happening technically analog outside of the computer, dude. This is insane. So when you look at the actual processing, I'm using 0.03%. Well, the lexicon itself is using 0.02% out of 0.03%, and then the RIA insert plugin that actually sends and receives from the lexicon is using 0.01%. So for 0.03%, I have a full effects palette. So sick. Anyway, so that's the delay. And then what else is there? There's digital delay, tape delay, pong delay, mod delay, reverse delay, reverse serve delay. Yeah. This is an interesting delay. What happens when I change the settings on this plugin? De-esser, I haven't really used this. I'm not going to use that. We also do have compression. You know, actually, what's super interesting, so if I want to do this, I got to turn my actual feed off. So my feed is off now. So you're just hearing the lexicon. Are we just hearing the lexicon, or are you still hearing it? Hold up. If I'm sending to the master just a regular fader, so you should not be hearing my direct feed either. I'm not hearing it and you're not hearing it. What we're hearing right now is the lexicon explicitly. And so I don't know what these actually do. I haven't, oh, this must be threshold. That's threshold. Is there like a makeup gain or something? I don't know. I haven't really used the compressor really. But oh yeah, it's definitely compressing. It's definitely compressing, that's for sure. Anyway, we'll bring this back up here to parity. And then we got a chorus. We've got a flanger, a phaser, tremolo pan. This doesn't really sound like it's doing anything right now, probably because I need to turn some stuff up or something, you know, make it really start moving with the depth or whatever. I got to look up in the manual again the actual settings, because the settings changed, but depending on what effect you're using, and I'm not really hearing much of an effect right now. If I just send it maybe all the way through, oh, it is. It's like a tremolo pan. Oh, that's cool. Trim. So that's the rate. Okay, that's not math. Whatever. This is the depth. And this is what is this? Oh, this is the pan. So it kind of doesn't pan if it's down all the way, and then it does pan way hardcore if it's up all the way. The wet feed is oh, there are 2 wet feeds for each effect. So I'm only showing you one effect right now. Does that sound weird? Should I turn my voice back up? You can kind of hear the comb filtering a little bit from the latency, but it's so minuscule. This is 2 effects. It's a multi-effects. It's a stereo effects processor. So you can actually route it different ways. I'm in dual stereo right now. So basically both the left and right going to the lexicon are coming back left and right, and they're going into the effects left and right independently. Each effect, it's complicated. There's a lot of different settings in here you can mess with, but basically dual stereo means both the left and right go through the effects and come back left and right. And then you can do cascade, where the left and right go to the first effect first, and then they go to the second effect after they hit the first effect. So like if you have like a hall, it'll do the hall effect, and then if there's a delay on the second effect, it'll do that delay after it does the hall. So it'll like delay the hall. But if you do dual stereo, it'll do the hall and the delay at the same time. So it's super versatile in that way. And right now I just have the second effect completely turned off. Show cams. Other glow. What's up, dude? Where's the light? You have just resubscribed for 65 months. Did you see how that worked? I don't even have to pause anymore, dude. I don't even have to pause anymore. I could just randomly say 65 months. Oh, come on. Seriously? Like we were really going somewhere. They were going to be super impressed. They were going to be like so impressed. I could just like randomly say 65 months. See? Why do you got to do that? Why do you got to do that? Like, that's ridiculous. Check this out, dude. Thank you for the 65, man. 5 complete rotations. No, not 9. 5 complete rotations. No, not 9. Why did you send it as 9? Dude, literally, watch this. Look at this. This is ridiculous. Come on. 5 complete rotations. 5 complete rotations. Look at that, sent as 9. Look at that, it says sent as 9. I said 5, it says sent as 9. Like, what even is that? Like, what even is that, dude? What are we doing here? What are we doing here? Like, I would seriously like to understand what is actually happening. You know, we spent hours setting this up, you and me, and then now you're getting all weird. You know, like you're supposed to listen to every single word I say. And then if a cue comes through, you do it. That's it. You know, that's all. Pretty simple. So if I were to say, hey, Other, thank you so very much for coming back in with that 65 months. 60 months? Wait a minute. I said 65. What? I said 65 months. Yeah. Jeez. Anyway, thanks, man. It mostly works. I have to say, most of the time it works. I have to tell you, oh, there, it did work. Oh, God. Oh, we still have the tremolo pan going. Show Reaper. Okay, so anyway, so we got the tremolo pan rotary vibrato. So the vibrato, if we turn the pan to thing, oh yeah, I'm going to turn my main voice down. Hello there, how are you doing? What's going on? Yes, as we change the things and stuff, everything's good there, yes? Absolutely. Yes, very good, very good. Now if I turn this down just a little bit, there we go. I felt like the cat that was barking. I was sort of like doing a fake voice, and then when my main voice came back, you could tell I was faking it. Okay, pitch shift. Now this, I can tell I'm definitely going to be using on guitar because it's basically no latency, and it sounds amazing. I put it on the guitar yesterday, and I was just jamming a little bit, and like it sounded so clean. But this sounds pretty. This sounds pretty deep down there. So if I go down to 63, that's going to be one octave and one octave down, and yeah.
So we turn down. So we turn down. Turn down for what? Turn down for what? What? But it's basically zero latency.
Basically, I mean, it's really close. It's a little latent, like a tiny bit latent, like a few samples late, maybe. But generally speaking, it's pretty much doing it when I speak. There's no delay, really. But if you want to do a delay, you could do you could route them in cascade, and then you could unbypass the second effect, and then maybe do a very short delay with that. Maybe clear it up a little bit, and then now it's pitch shifting, and then it's doing the large haul. So there's that. So there's that, you know. So it sounds like that when you do it like this. When you do it like this, it kind of sounds like that. Like this. When it's like that. Show cams. Right said Ted. Welcome back 64 months. I said 64 months. Thank you. Sheesh. All of them in a row. That's a lot of months. The ticket says, will you still need me? Will you still feed me when I'm 64? Yes, that's exactly what I said. Thank you. Ted, thank you so much for the 64. All of them in a row. That's insane, dude. That's a lot of months. Belays. Coming back in with 63 months. That's a lot of months. The ticket says we had a 65, a 64. I might as well continue and drop the 63. I mean, like, are you serious right now, dude? This thing is completely broken. This thing is completely busted. I gotta turn that off. Where can we turn this off from? We'll just mute it. Just mute it right there. There we go. Also, I don't know if you can see it from here. Do we? You know what? I guess, oh, no, don't do it. Oh, God. I'm starting to regret this. I do have the old one. I could bring it back. I could just bring it back, dude. This is getting a little out of hand here. Getting a little out of hand. Pay no heed to the white screen. What's up, Boba? We're just getting a new lens on here. Gonna get the new lens on. So now, let's see. Oh, yes. It'll get there. Yeah, there it is. Gold status. Belay days, 63 months. Gold status. Resubscription. I don't even know what to say. I don't even know what to say. Dude, thank you very much as always. Oh God, yeah, that's right. That is a thing. This is really close. I mean, this is pretty detailed. It's a pretty detailed camera angle, dude. This is a 60mm macro lens. This is the sharpest lens I have. This is my favorite lens. I love this lens a lot. It's a great lens. I mean, the detail of this lens is absolutely incredible. It's an Olympus. It's nice. But we're pretty close. We're pretty close to the face, dude. I feel like I should like get some makeup out, do like a makeup tutorial right now or something. Hold on, I'm gonna get the 45. We're gonna switch over to the 45. I'm just gonna roll over here real quick and grab it. This is also an Olympus. I love this lens as well. All right, this lens is coming off. Prepare for the whiteness momentarily. Till we get this going here. Let's see what the 45 feels like. Do it live. Here comes the 45. Man, this is a nice lens too. I swear, like, what was that? Turn off other. Turn off months. Turn off prefix. Yeah, see, that's all I got to do. I just got to turn everything off. I should say I should have an option to say turn everything off or kill secondary voice control, which is what I just did. Of course, I do have an option to turn it off completely. Like, what am I thinking? Anyway, the 45 is pretty nice. I like the 45. It's a good lens. Very sharp. Very, very sharp. I really like sharp lenses. You know, if it's a sharp lens, you can really show stuff. You know, you can be like, look at the Polar can. It's a very sharp Polar can. Lighting, show stream feed. Oh, yes. Very, very nice. Look at that cinematic depth and contrast. High dynamic range. Show Reaper. As soon as I said that, Miller, I was like, yeah, that's interesting sounding. We're just going to roll. Live performance, production, and makeup toots. Dude, we're doing it all here. DJ Stingray, what's going on? That mean you're running Micro Four Thirds? Yeah, I'm running Micro Four Thirds on everything. I have a couple GH5. Do we have the cams command? I don't think I have a voice command for the cams, but if somebody wants to do ! cams, I think it'll show us the cams. What's up, Zerazzle? Yeah, that looks like it's pretty up to date. And a Mokos HDMI camera for the wireless guitar. Oh, I forgot about that one. Very cool. Neato. Thank you, Alka. I feel like you're in a Men's Warehouse ad telling me I'll like the way I look in that shot. You will, dude. The 45 knows what's up, man. The 45 knows what's up. The Olympus is great. But yeah, no, I love 4/3. I had to make the decision when I got my first nice camera. What's up, Kendi? When I got my first nice camera, which was the GH5S, that was the first like camera that I bought that was not a webcam. I had to make a choice, and the choice involved choosing the format, and it was going to be Micro Four Thirds with Lumix, or it was going to be the A7 III with Sony. Those were the two cameras I was looking at. And what made the decision for me was the fact that I had a Nikon 50mm and a Nikon 35mm APS-C lenses for like the D7000, D300, those cameras. Because I had a D7000 at the time. And, well, I still have that D7000 actually, but it's not in the system. It's all hacked, so you can like do longer recordings, but it fits the 35 and the 50. And I have the GoCam 11. This is the 35, and it's adapted to a GH4. But I really like this lens too. The Nikon primes are really, really nice lenses, but I have to adapt them with speed boosters. Then I don't have electric autofocus. Unfortunately, GoCam 8. But yeah, so that's what made the decision for me was that I had those 2 lenses, and I was like, well, that's hundreds and hundreds of dollars that I'm not going to have to reinvest into like a new camera system because I'll already have those lenses, and then I can just go from there. And I'm really happy with my choice because now that we're 8 years later, because I got the GH5S I think in 2018, it's 8 years later, and I've been able to pick up like several GH4s on eBay for like a couple $100, and I got the G9, the G9 II, which is what you're seeing right now, is just, it's my favorite camera ever. Once I talk about, it's become a meme, but I mean, I talk about the phase detect autofocus all the time. The phase detect autofocus on this thing is absolutely, that's what finally did it. They finally gave us good autofocus, and now it's like, I'm good to go. The size is great. I mean, the picture's great. It's like, yeah, it's just the picture's great. Obviously, if you're doing like magazine portraits for like, $100,000 clients, then you probably want to be on full frame or like be on medium format or something and like really, really get some high resolution detail and stuff. But for doing live video it's just like the size, the battery power's great on these. They don't overheat. Like they can run the entire stream. They never overheat. They're light, and the lenses are way more affordable than full frame lenses or medium format lenses for that matter. But yeah, so I feel like I made a good choice. I'm happy with my choice 8 years later now that I have like a full camera collection with a bunch of lenses and stuff, because it ended up being way more economic than if I were to go full frame back in 2018. If I tried to have like 12 full frame cameras right now, dude, not going to happen actually. But yeah, it's good times. I think I'll leave the 45 on for a few though. We'll chill with the 45. We'll hang out with the 45. Do you have an Elgato for each one? I have 3 Camlink Pros, which have 4 HDMI inputs each. And I can run those at 4K 30, I think. But, yeah. So I have 12 inputs there. And that's all of the 12 cameras, I think. And then, now see, this isn't making sense though. What am I thinking about? Yeah, no, that's right. So yeah, so I have 3 Elgato Camlink Pros that are PCIe cards. And so they're plugged into an X99 board, which has enough slots for them, which was also random. I got that board for gaming years ago. And then it just ended up being great for the video stuff because I could fit 3 Elgato Camlink Pros into it without USB, because I wanted to get away from USB. And so that's awesome. Those work fantastically. And then I have another, I think an HD 60 Pro also that is capturing the lyric feed from the audio PC, and then that overlays on the video during live performances. So there's 13 video feeds technically going into the video PC, but 12 of them are actual HDMI cameras. And all of them are Lumix cameras except the guitar camera, which is that, whatever it is. Oh no, that's not right. I do have two PTZ zoom cameras. They're HD, they're PTZ optics, I think. Or are they Huddle Cam? I can't remember. I think one of those companies bought the other or something like that. But so 2 of them are that. And then they each have 10 presets, 10 internal presets, and I queue those presets with Python files over the COM ports. But the reason I get confused about it is because I also have the capture on the streaming PC for all the computers, because all 5 computers are captured by the streaming PC. The audio and gaming PC get captured at 4K 60, and then the mover PC is 1080, lighting PC is 1080. And I think the video PC captures at 1080 as well, but it's all downscaled from 4K because all the cameras are going in 4K except the guitar camera and except the PTZ cameras, which are 1080p cams. But then everything gets downscaled to 1080, converted to 24 frames, and then sent to the streaming PC at 24 frames. So the streaming PC gives you the final delivery video at 60 frames, but all the videos are going at 24 frames, but all the screen captures are at 60 frames. So it's smooth screens with good cinematic video frame rate. I finally figured out how to drive the Panasonic PTZ camera I bought on Marketplace with an Xbox controller instead of a $300 camera contour controller. That's weird. That came through afterward. That's strange. My chat's all messed up. But yeah, dude, that's fantastic. I love hearing stuff like that. I spent like, I don't even want to say how much it was. It was so ungodly expensive for this software to control the PTZ stuff at the very beginning because I didn't realize that you could just write a Python script to send a COM port message to queue preset number 1. It was like they had all these features in it, and like half of them were broken, and it was such a, oh man, I was so mad about it because I was using auto hotkey to like push fake buttons on this software that was buggy as hell in the first place. Dude, I used to use auto hotkey for everything, and I would literally use like mouse movements all over the screen. It was horrible. I don't think I use any mouse movements. The only I use auto hotkey for a bunch of stuff, but the only actual mouse movement I make is when somebody wins a giveaway, it physically clicks the chat space and pastes their username in there so I can bring it up so I can send them a whisper. And that may even be obsolete now because StreamerBot released a new version a little while back that I think is completely on the new Twitch system. So I think you might be able to whisper with StreamerBot, which I need to look into. What does Companion do? Oh, ours too? Oh, interesting. Okay. Strange. That's really strange. Yeah, thanks, Stingray. It's been a long time coming, dude. I've been working on this for 11 years now. We're just a little low. I'm just going to bring it up there. Now I can relax. I was like scrouching down so I could get it be in the shot. Cause this 45, man, it's freaking zoomy, dude. It's freaking a zoom. It's a zoom lens, man. Here, let's bring ourselves a little bit more cinematically to the there it is there. Now this is a cinematic shot. Now we're in the rule of thirds. Everything's looking nice now. Here we go. Although I should reverse this so it looks like I'm looking at the setup rather than looking at the edge of the screen, but whatever, it's fine. You always have been able to whisper with username message now. That's certainly, yeah, probably. But the reason I probably didn't do that is because I didn't want to risk posting public links to stuff because I send private links in the message. And so I didn't want to risk it not working and just sending the link out to the chat. And then I know that StreamerBot did have like a whisper option, but I could never get it to work because it was caught by spam filters or something like that. But I got to try it again because it might work now. Companion. All right, I got to check that out. I was looking at Chitane the other day because I know that Sushi Dragon uses it. And but StreamerBot is so good. Like StreamerBot does everything I need. So, and I have so many actions now. And now that I have voice control that's outboard from StreamerBot that I can really, really get a lot of detailed stuff with, even though it's completely broken. I feel stoked with the current setup. But anyway, yeah, like I was saying, it's been a long time coming, 11 years doing this. And like, I feel like finally I got everything done and now I can focus on the audio, which is kind of hilarious. That's kind of hilarious because the whole reason for this stream existed in the first place was for the audio and for the music. But it's like, I was always like, my mentality was always like, well, the music's fine. I got to make sure this camera works because if the camera doesn't work, then like we won't even have a stream. So, you know, I got to do that. And it's like, it was basically that for 10 years and just trying to get stuff to actually work. And now finally, it's like finally the entire setup is pretty dialed. And so we finally get to actually focus on the audio and making the audio right, which is what we're doing now. So just to sum up this little situation with the lexicon here, we got the lexicon in the system. I built this app that corresponds to all the CC lanes. And then whenever I change any of the lanes, it updates in the plugin. Everything updates in real time. It goes to the lexicon flawlessly. Everything seems to be working great. And so now we can replace live effects in sessions with this so that I can continue to run at 16 sample blocks live. Circles is running great, so we don't need to worry about that. And besides, there's no real effects like that on anything in Circles. Circles is pretty much just a single guitar tone. Oh, that was one other thing I wanted to talk about was it's mind-boggling to me. I mean, it actually makes some sense. It makes some sense. They changed how whispers worked a while back. I'm wondering if that's when it broke for like the StreamYard thing. But yeah, I gotta check it out. Turn on notes. Turn on notes. Run secondary voice control. Turn on notes. Turn on notes. Turn on notes. Computer, make a note. Look at companion software. Nice. Although it didn't make a note. Computer, make a note. Look at companion software. Yes, reload. Nice. Notes are working. Cool. That's good. I will check that out. Quilton, what's going on? That's not Lexicon's plugin. Did that one not work anymore? So it does work. The only issue is that it's 32-bit bridged, and like it like was like taking like 0.08 or 0.09 processing power. And I was like, I ain't doing that, dude. I ain't doing that. But yeah, it worked fine. I have it loaded here. You can, oh wait, let me think about this though. I guess if I turn off RIA insert, that should make it so that I can load the lexicon in there. Let's see. Yeah, it's not available. Maybe I have to go into options. Oh, check this out. I figured out which Windows the MIDI device outputs. So if I do Alt-N, it just opens up preferences to the MIDI outputs window. How cool is that? You look up your INI file, and then you can see which window pane number this is, and then you can just say reaper.viewprefs, and then the window, and then it opens directly to this, which is pretty neat. Anyway, so if I turn this off and then apply that, and then I'll close, I'll delete that and then add it again. This might work now. Yep, there you go. Okay, so now it is working, but you can see it's using 0.10%. It's using 0.10%. And I know that that's not audio processing, but it's still 0.1%. Like, I'm not down, dude. I am not down with that at all. That's way too much. And like, yeah, you can like move this and then, wait, can you? Can you not? Wait, yeah, you can. I think you can, if you click here, yeah, so you can change you can put envelopes here for the settings, and then basically do what this is doing over here. But I don't like that it's bridged. I don't like that it's 32-bit. I don't like that it's taking 0.1%. I feel like there was more reasons I didn't like it, but it's fine. It takes a second to open and stuff, so you know, whatever. It's fine. And then I think, if I'm correct, it doesn't take the clock by doing that because it's not connected through Reaper, so I can't send it the MIDI clock for delay timing to be synced. So that, I think, is one of the big reasons I didn't like it either. So if we go back in here to the lexicon and we enable it and we send the clock out, and then we unmute the send to it, and then we do this, and I think, what do I have to do? Hit F2? Does that make it work? This was a good test because I don't know if that like screwed it up. Oh no, I just didn't have this on. There we go. Now it's reconnected. Yeah, there's nothing wrong. Cool. So if you look at this, you can see that the controller that I built is using 0.02% processing. So we've got 0.8% of processing we're not using. It's not using it in a bridged mode. It's updating all the displays in real time. So I'm stoked. Yeah, I spent a couple hours building this with Gemini and Grok. Gemini did most of it. Because like the way that the CCs are built, some of the CCs, like I think the effects CC starts at like 96 and then goes up to 127, and then it's reversed. So there's all kinds of like little doodads like that I had to switch around and change and stuff. Yeah, and it did the whole graphics UI and everything. Like I didn't say anything. I just said I want to be able to see what effects are changing to. So there needs to be some like text. And I mean, like, what else did I say? I mean, it's crazy how good this stuff's getting. Because like all this makes sense. Like this UI totally makes sense, but I didn't really design any of it. I literally didn't design any of it. I just told it what I wanted, generally speaking, and then it built this. So all the colors, the text, the placement of everything, that was all AI, dude. It's crazy. But yeah, there was a lot of troubleshooting because the tempo stuff was weird, and some of the CC values, the way that they're mapped to the actual knobs on the machine are a little like non-intuitive. But it works great. It works freaking great. I saved it as a template. What was the other thing I was going to say? There was one other thing I was going to say about something. Oh, it was the guitar thing, dude. The guitar stuff. Oh my God. Like I tested S Gear. I tested Guitar Rig 6, 5. I tested Amplitube. I mean, I tested every amp modeler I have. Oh, I got this new thing. It's called Neural Amp Modeler, NAM, which I don't know if that's the best name because NAM is the convention every year for music stuff in January in LA. But it's called NAM. It's Neural Amp Modeler, and it's basically like a real-time modeler of amp tones. They're like impulse responses or something. I don't know the details. I don't know that complicated stuff. It's all technical, literally. But I got that and I was like, oh, this will be sick because if it's just a snapshot of a tone and nothing extra, it'll be super performant, low latent. But it added sample latency. It added a few samples of latency and it was taking like a lot of processing, like over 0.1% of processing. And I was like, oh, that's a bummer. Because like, it's such a cool idea that if you could just take a snapshot of a guitar tone from an amp and then just use that on your track in your DAW, if it could run super lean and efficiently, that'd be great. But end of the day, the most efficient, lean amp modeler I have, which I thought it was going to be S Gear because S Gear's like prides itself on having low latency, high performance. But what actually ended up being the best performing real-time, low latency, high performance amplifier simulator modeler is Guitar Rig 5 from Native Instruments. It runs with the lowest latency and it runs with the lowest CPU demand. And it is absolutely, I mean, you can't really get mad because it's just sort of the state of entropy and the state of the world and technology. And as technology gets better, the tools that utilize better technology are more bloated and crammed full of crap. And it's like, because like Guitar Rig 6, latency, Amplitube, latency, so much latency. And it's like, I just want a guitar modeler. And it's like Guitar Rig 5 is 0 latency and it's like 15 years old. It's like, yeah, it was built to work on older hardware that wasn't as good. And so they just kept it lean and mean. And I'm just like, man, it's just crazy getting to this point in your life where you're like, wow, it really is true. Like sometimes like old stuff is just better because it's like, it was made with no compromise. You couldn't have something bloated because the technology wouldn't run it at the time. So now running that stuff on current technology, it's like you have like the most lean, high performance stuff going, and it's old. Like the Lexicon's 20 years old. It's a 20-year-old box. It's craziness. But oh man, it sounds great. 0 latency, high performance, amazing. Guitar Rig 5 is so old. I don't know how old that is. It's definitely over a decade old. I was using Guitar Rig 5. I mean, I used it in circles, I think. So it's like, that was 2013. I was using it before that. So, I mean, it's old too, but it's great. It's still great. And oh man, McRocklin, that was the other one. The McRocklin, too much processing, dude. And it's funny because it's pretty low latency, but it's too much processing. So like you start getting crackling and popping and stuff. At least I was, and some of the stuff I was doing, which makes sense because McRocklin has a lot in it. It's kind of bittersweet because it's like some of this new stuff, it has so much going on and it's very cool to have everything at your fingertips in one single plugin interface. That's really neat. And like the UIs are really nice on some of this stuff, but I just can't use it. It's not fast enough. It wants too much from the CPU. So it's just not worth it. So I'm not going to use that anymore either. I might use some of that stuff during production, but for live, I can't. It's too demanding. So on Circles, I put Guitar Rig 5 on there. And then the Octaver, I was using the Hypertune from, it's not McRocklin, but it's the same company that makes, I think is it Polytech or something? But, that was too much too. That, I think it, with, there's two settings on it. One is like a smooth sweep up and down the octave range. And then one is stepping. So like half steps. With the smooth on, it's like it uses 0.9% of a CPU. And then with the smoothing off, it uses 0.4, 0.5. And I was like, it's too much because I'm using 0.0 something with Guitar Rig. Like if we put, this is using S Gear because I built this before. See, S Gear is using 0.13, dude. That's too much. That's too much CPU. But if I go, yeah, see, like this whole track, well, the Pro R is using a lot too. The Pro R is using 0.22. That's the other thing. I can't, oh, you can't see it. There you go. I can't use Pro R anymore. I got to say goodbye to it. The Pro R and the Pro R2, they use too much processing. It's just too much. I tried the Valhalla. The Valhalla is actually really performant. And the Valhalla is probably the reverb that I'll use, the vintage verb. It's the reverb I'll use for production probably. And then whenever I get ready for live performance on anything in the future, anything live, I'll just use the Lexicon, but I'll probably have produced whatever reverb that is with the Valhalla, because the Valhalla sounds amazing, very high performant, very low processing, no latency, really great. That's a great piece of software. But even that, I think, uses 0.0. I want to say it's 0.03 or 0.04 processing. So it's like to go from 0.04 down to 0.02 with the Lexicon plugin, and then all of the processing is done outside of the machine. So I can use like delays and reverbs, and I can stack effects and stuff like that. I mean, it's just, it doesn't even compare. It's funny, dude. Like, I was never an analog guy, ever. Since I started recording and playing music, I started with Pro Tools 5, I think, with the Digi 001. Well, I did start with the Tascam 414. The first stuff I ever did was on a tape recorder because that was all I could afford. But when I got my first computer and got into digital recording, I started Pro Tools 5 and I was like, this is amazing. Everything runs inside here. And I just went from there and never looked back. And now all this time later, it's like, I finally am starting to appreciate why you would want to use outboard gear. For some people, it's the sound. For some people, it's the tactile ability of like just being able to move stuff with your fingers and stuff. But for me, it's the performance. Low latency performance demands that you use everything you can to get the processing off of the CPU. And if that means putting an effects box in real time with SPDIF connected to it, I'm down. We're doing it. Anyway, so this track's using like 0.43%. It's like, that's just unacceptable in a live situation at 16 sample blocks. It's not going to work. But the Valhalla is very performant. 0.02% right now. I mean, that's really nice. And then check it out. If you go to Guitar Rig uses 0.04 when there's nothing on it, and then you have to start adding components. So like if I add the Lead 800, that takes us up to 0.11, which, you know, I would consider maybe getting an outboard amp processing effects modeler, maybe at 0.11. But when you compare it to S Gear 2, we're at 0.12, 0.13. I feel like the S Gear 2 also, it depends on which amp you're using. Yeah, see, like this one uses 0.15. And if we go to the Duke, that one's at 0.13. But then if you want to add like the effects pedal, now the effect is on it. Now we're up at 0.15. So like we're starting to get up there. With Guitar Rig 5, we're at 0.11, 0.12 with an amp. And then if I add some reverb in, we're at 0.12. That's not bad. What if I want to add in the pitch pedal that I love? Doesn't change a thing. It changes nothing to add the pitch pedal to Guitar Rig 5. Now, if I used Hypertune instead, check this out, dude. 0.22%. 0.22%, 1/4% just for a pitch pedal. And watch this. You turn on smooth. Watch this. Oh, it didn't change. That's weird. Usually it goes up crazy when you change it to smooth. Oh, maybe it's because you have to actually have it changed. Oh, there you go. Look at that. 0.84%. 0.84%. Like we're almost at 1% with this thing, with a simple tuning plugin. And then you're telling me on Guitar Rig 5, I put in the same functionality with this pitch pedal and it does nothing, and we're still at 0.14, and I have a reverb on. I can cut that. That might bring us back down a little bit. Yep, back down to 0.13. So 0.13 with an amp and a pedal and the pitch pedal here. It's like, dude, there's no competition. And it's at 0 latency. So that's what I've been doing, is trying to figure out how to get the absolute best performance from what I got. And yeah, and with the piano being completely analog, we're good. What's up, Master? It does make a huge difference. Valhalla does sound insane. I saw you guys, dude, it's such a bummer that this chat, you can't let this chat live for a minute. I wonder if there's a way that I could let the chat live for a while. It's the web browser chat from Streamlabs. The only way I can actually read the chat and catch up is if I either anyway, I'm catching up now. Hold on. Okay, yeah. So yeah, other said that's not Lexicon's plugin. Yeah, that's right. Living the dream over here, says Quilton. Nice. And it looks nicer. Yes, I agree. Master says hi, hello. NAMM is a great plugin. It's a very cool plugin. Yeah, don't get me wrong. It's taking more performance than Guitar Rig, but it is a very cool plugin. And there's a whole ecosystem of people getting amp tones. So there's tons of amp tones that you can just download and check out. Like, it's super cool. For production, it's amazing. Surprised you're not looking into a quad Cortex or an HX Stomp to bring the guitar processing outside of the box, given your low latency quest. Yeah, you're ahead of me there. I'm thinking that might be, it's hard to say, because it's like, if I can run at 16 sample blocks, I'm okay with the guitar being processed in real time, because the guitar processing is one of those things when I'm doing production, I really enjoy finding guitar sounds and like doing production inside the box and then trying to find that sound outside the box. Now, one other option would be to use just sort of like, I used the Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde for years as my guitar pedal. So it's like, I could technically, but see, then that's the other thing too, is like, then you're starting to add latency and processing from converting it from digital to analog and then back from analog to digital and sending it out to another box. And it's like, that starts to become its own thing. And so, I don't know, I'm kind of on the fence about that right now. But if I can get Guitar Rig 5 to work, it's got great sounds in it. If I can get that to work, and then if I need to use the outboard effects on the guitar, fine. If I can get the effects in Guitar Rig to work, low latency, and not do any crackling and popping, then that's even better. But that's like the one track that I feel like I'm okay with staying inside the box as long as it can do low latency. But it's like the Pro R2 is what really got me started on this, where it's like I use reverb all the time and I use delay all over the place. And it's like, it seems like the reverb and delay is what really starts to hack away at you. Was ist das? Was ist das? Void FM. Void show cams. Void FM coming in with 82 months. Turn on months. Void FM coming in with 82 months. There it is. See, it kind of works. Octadubes. That's a lot of months, dude. The ticket says SOA hey, SOAH. Turn on other. The ticket says SOA hey, SOAH. It didn't work? Hey. The ticket says, what the? Oh, it's because it's a prefix. See, these are all user errors right now. The thing's working fine. Turn on prefix. The ticket says SOA hey, SOA H. The tick. Yes. The tick. Indeed. Thank you, Void, for the 82. That's a lot of months, man. Like, seriously. Seriously, man. Seriously. Surprising. Oh, yeah. So I'm thinking about the outboard, maybe. GR5 was the sound of lots of early albums anyways, right? I don't know. I don't know how many people used it. I assume a lot of people did, though, because it's a great plugin. Old stuff's built to last. New stuff is built to replace in 5 years. That's exactly right, Blaze. What's up, Hunter? Headrush Core Kick S2. Headrush Core? Is that an amp modeler? Computer, make a note. Check out Headrush Core. With two 12-inch Headrush speakers sounds great. All right, I'll check that out. I can't wait until you have the full SSL console and the entire show is just stereo pair into Reaper for full analog zero latency. Oh man, that'd be amazing. It does make a huge difference, Miller. It really does. Sorry, that was like 10 minutes ago, and I'm answering it now. You should use the VST versions if possible, or VST3 if possible, since the VST3, if there's no audio signal flow, the plugin turns off and doesn't use any CPU time and power. Does Guitar Rig 5 have a VST3? It doesn't have VST3, does it? Show Reaper. No, Guitar Rig 6. Guitar Rig 6 does. But Guitar Rig 6 adds... Dude, check out how freaking demanding Guitar Rig 6 is. So it starts off at 0.06 with nothing even in it. And then if you go to the amplifier, what do we want? The Lead 800? How do you even do this? Dude, I haven't even like... Okay, fifth doomed, fine. Or do you double click? Okay, now it... Oh, 0.6, dude. 0.6. 0.62? Like, we're not doing this. And look at it, had 16 samples. It had 16 samples of latency. We're not doing that. I'm not doing that. Like, get out of here. Like, what are you guys doing? You're supposed to make stuff better. Like, you're adding latency and demanding way more of newer technology. Like, come on. Come on now. We're not doing that. We're not doing that. I wish Guitar Rig 5 had VST3. The tick is there? No, not the Irk. The Irk isn't back, is it? There's no way the Irk is back. It's impossible. It's impossible. The blue superhero. Yeah, is that who you're talking about? Guitar 5 is old. I don't think there is a VST3. Yeah, I don't think there is. I don't think there is either. 0.6? It's way too much, dude. It's out of control. 0.6 is out of control. Like no way. Like it'll be going the whole time. We cannot do that. Not going to do it. Not going to do it. So yeah, so that's kind of the state of things as far as that goes. Now I did get something else. Came in yesterday. I was a little apprehensive about it. So last week, the show cams. Last week, the guitar, the wireless guitar transceiver, it was dying. I had two sets, and like it was dying after like an hour or two. And I was like, man, I'm charging these things. Like, are these things finally dead? And I think I've had them like 2.5, 3 years now. So it's like maybe the batteries in them are just finally dying because they have these lithium batteries inside them. But it was also running at 5.8 gigahertz, which adds some latency. So we're talking about five milliseconds or so of latency on the guitar that I've just kind of dealt with. And then if I'm running it higher than 16 sample blocks, you know, at 64 or 128, then we're adding another like set buffer 128.
Buffer adjusted.
at 128, we're at 6.2 milliseconds of latency latency round trip. So 6.2 plus 5, that's 11 milliseconds on guitar that I was dealing with if I was running at 128. Some songs I was running at 128. Jesus, no, not months. Turn off months. Some songs I was running at 128, but most of the time it was 64. And I think like circles and stuff like that, I would run at 32 if I thought about it. But most of the time I think I was at 64 with everything. So set buffer 64.
Buffer adjusted.
So at 64, we're looking at 3.4 milliseconds. So 8.4 milliseconds of guitar latency, which that's not too bad because it's kind of like standing. I think for every foot, I don't know, don't quote me on this, but I'm pretty sure that for every foot you stand away from your amp, that's like a millisecond of sound. So like if you're standing 8 feet from your amp, that's 8 milliseconds. So it's kind of one of those things where it's not as bad as it sounds, I don't think. Like you get used to it. But when it's directly in your ear holes and you're playing the guitar and it's like you're getting 8 milliseconds of delay, like that it has an effect. Like it has an effect on playing, especially when you're playing faster. Snake Business has just returned for 3 months. Turn on months. 3 months. Via Twitch Prime, no less. Via Twitch Prime, no less. Yeah, because that one's in the stream bot thing. That's right. I just got to get used to it. Thank you so very much. Really appreciate the continued support. A quarter of a rotation. Awesome. That's awesome. Nice. Appreciate it. Welcome back. Set buffer 16.
Buffer adjusted.
I don't know why it takes a second to get going. I'm pretty sure that every foot you stand away from your amp, that's like 1 millisecond of latency. So like 8 isn't that bad. But anyway, the point is that those things were adding like 5 milliseconds and they weren't really breaking out. They weren't breaking up too bad, but they would sort of have this like digital interference sometimes. Like I'd hit like a chord and it would be like, and they were weird. Anyway, I did a little research and I'm checking this out. I'm trying this out. This is the Boss, what is it? This is the WL20, I think. Trying to get the good reflection angle. Give me the good reflection angle. There you go. Very nice. Oh my God. Turn off other. Turn off months. Turn off prefix. They're very nice. They're very, very nice. Like they feel very good in the hand, you know? Good weight. They feel like they're quality made. Anyway, these are not 5.8 gigahertz. These are 2.4. So I was like a little worried about it because the 2.4 gigahertz stuff is problematic sometimes, especially when you're dealing with like fog and stuff. But what this does is when you plug it into itself, it blinks for 10 seconds and it finds the best frequency available. And then it's set. There it is. And it's good to go now. So I did that and I plugged it in. I played for a few minutes. No dropouts. I ran some fog. I had everything going. All the cameras were on. So all the wireless stuff that's running in the room was going. And I didn't have any breakouts with this. And the kicker is that they have some special Boss technology that they say in these things. And it runs at 2 milliseconds of latency. I tried a guitar cable directly to the interface and it added some line noise. And I was like, like, I'm not using a cable, dude. We're not using a real cable. We're not using a real cable unless I get some sort of contraption that I can like run it completely isolated so it's completely noiseless. And then also, dude, when you're playing guitar wireless for years and then you plug a cable into that thing and you try to walk around a little, dude, oh my God, it's like you feel like you're a caged animal. It's like horrible. I was like, I can't take this, man. I can't take this cable. It's like, if there's one compromise I'm willing to make, it's not putting a cable back in this thing. So this thing came and I tried it out and it's freaking works awesome. So I'm super excited about this because this is extremely low latency and it had no breakouts at 2.4 gigahertz. So that's good stuff. So that coupled with zero latency Guitar Rig 5 is going to be pretty good stuff. Seriously though, once you go wireless, dude, it's with everything, with the ears, with the mics, all of it. It also depends on weird shit like weather. Really? You Googled it. It's 1.13 feet per millisecond. Well, how about that? Nice. So yeah, it's one of those things where you don't want to be too hard on yourself about latency with guitar. But I got to say, dude, getting this stuff plugged in and running at 16 sample blocks and like playing, like I opened up some of Circles yesterday and I was just like playing When You're Gone. And it's just such fast picking. And it was just like, da, 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 da. And I was just like, it felt like, I don't know. It could have been psychosomatic. It's hard to say with this stuff. A lot of this stuff is probably psychological. And it's like a lot of life is psychological. And a lot of how you feel about something is psychological. And like how you approach something is psychological. So it's like, even if the actual reality of the situation is maybe it's not as big of a difference as I feel like it is, the fact that I'm psychologically approaching it, that I have the absolute lowest latency, high performance that I can possibly muster makes me feel good. And then it makes me feel more confident and feel like I'm able to play better. And then I play better. Because I was playing and I just felt like the rhythm, I could just pick the rhythm, like, and I was just like with the rhythm, like finally, like I could just play the rhythm actually how it is. And it's like, it was in my ears as I was moving my hand. It was just like, this is the way it should be. Felt good. So that's exciting because the 5.8 thing, it was like, yeah, that 5 milliseconds plus the latency from the interface, especially running it fast at slower than 16 sample blocks was like, you could feel it. You could, especially on fast guitar parts, which I don't really play that many fast guitar parts, but the fast stuff that I do play that's fast for me, it's weird. It's always been kind of weird because it's like you subconsciously sort of like speed up because you're hearing it late in your ears. Just, I mean, we're talking about so small, like very, very small, like sub 10 milliseconds is almost imperceptible, perceivable. But nevertheless, feels so good now. Oh, feels so good now. I can't believe I waited so long to like really dial this in. Because it's like, dude, it's like the excitement level is just so, it's like, it reminds me of the old days or something. I just feel so much more excited again, like to actually play. Like, I feel like so many times, you know, when you're setting up, it's kind of like, like I hope nothing breaks. Like that's basically, you're trying to prevent something from breaking. I was watching a podcast with these motocross guys, and this one guy, Adam Cincerelli, he always won from a little kid. Like he was always just winning and winning and winning. And he said he thinks that it did something to him weird because he never had the story of like coming up where it's like a lot of these kids are coming up and they just get better over time. And then like once they start really performing well, you're like, wow, they like grew into like, you know, becoming a man and starting to kick ass. And it's like, he was so good from the beginning that like his psychology was weird because for him, it wasn't like he was trying to build up to something. For him, it was like he was just trying to hold everybody off. And like psychologically, it was weird. And I feel like that with this stuff where it's just like, I feel for a really long time, I've just been trying to hold off rage from stuff breaking all the time. Yeah, delay sucks. Most boards, you can just measure the distance. Technically, you have to factor in when setting line arrays for shows. That's so crazy, dude. I bet. Yeah, the kind of line distance are you dealing with? Dude, the other thing, speaking of that I have very intimately familiarized myself with is the added noise from running data cable with power cable. It's something that I always like just didn't care about. Like I'd always heard that if you run data cable with power cable, at some point you're gonna get like electromagnetic interference, and the magnetic field from the power cable is gonna like screw up and add noise to the data. And I was always like, sounds pretty woo-woo to me. And then with the freaking piano microphone, I was running the piano mic cable with the power cable to the power strip at the piano, and I was running it 50 feet because it was coming over to the wall and then running all the way the line of the studio back over to all the machines. And there was this like it was the worst noise ever. And I had it bundled up with this, like I got these cable covers that are they're like springy, stretchy material where you don't have to like, you just kind of feed them in they like overlap and they're kind of like springy. And so it's like you open them up, put the cables in, and they like kind of overlap on themselves and squeeze in. They're really cool little cable covers. And I had that around the bundle of cables, and I started pulling the microphone cable out and like buzz. And then I got about 10 feet from the setup, and then like the buzz went away. And I was like, whoa. And then I lowered the cable back onto the umbilical, and it was like, and I was like, oh God, it is real. What everybody's been saying since the advent of electricity is real. Power cables add noise to data cables. And I've been just introducing so much noise to the entire system by doing that. I had like 3 different umbilicals doing that, and they were all adding noise. So I've separated all that stuff out, and now all the data cables run on their own umbilicals, and then power cables run on their own umbilicals. And so like the piano setup, I have an umbilical going about 30 feet now to the computer setup, but the power cable comes right out the bottom and then hooks into the DMX lighting cable on the truss over there. So it's like a 3-foot cable that gives power to all that stuff. And now there's completely zero line noise on any of that stuff. It's just like, it's stuff like that, dude, where you're just like, it's like for so long, you just like avoid reality and you don't want to think about reality. And then it's like, when you finally just say, I got to deal with reality, then it's like, it's so obvious, you know? Like, I wish I would have like, you know, accepted that a long time ago. But it is what it is. You know, you live and you learn. What's up, Odyssey? Do you like the 45? This is the Olympus 45, dude. Sharp portrait lens. I had that with my car stereo. Absolutely. EMF interference can be a nightmare live. I bet. You probably have like dedicated people that it's like their sole responsibility to like deal with that aspect of stuff. I mean, that will kill the whole thing. Like it'll destroy the entire thing if you do it wrong. Did you try the plugin with you can code on your own plugins, code reverb, and you need and check what latency that uses? I looked at the link you sent me, and I did watch a couple videos on that, and it's something I might revisit in the future. It's interesting. It's interesting, and especially with the low latency stuff, that is something interesting to think about. Because if I could code something really simple and really optimized. See, when I watched that stuff you sent, I wasn't looking at it from a perspective of like low latency and high performance and the opportunity to create something like that. I kind of looked at it and I was like, yeah, but I already have all these effects and they work fine. That's kind of like how I thought. But now that you mentioned it, that might be something to revisit and see if I can design something super lean. Thanks for reminding me. Isolation is a huge pain, but it matters. Especially imagine running 300 amp 3-phase instead of 20 amp 120 next to. Oh, damn, dude. Got to run that feeder cable neat and tidy. Yeah, dude. I'm so obsessed with cable management. Like, it's a problem. And not in a circle to make a giant electromagnet. Yeah, that's what I was asking AI about that. I was like, is there like some kind of like shielded cable or something I can buy to like stop this? And it was like, no. No, you can't really change physics. Like physics are electricity, magnetism. It's a force. It happens in reality, and we can't really do anything to stop it. You kind of just have to work with it and deal with it. I used to make fun of power conditioning until we started sitting at big rooms for AV, and now I'm like, oh, I get it. Dude, totally. I was dealing with that. I don't have a power conditioner, but I was thinking about that at some point. I was like, how much of my noise issue is from my power not being smooth? But I think my setup is so small that I don't think it is really an issue, because once I got everything switched out, once I got the Scarlett put on the streaming PC, once I got the Behringer line mixer replaced, and that had like a 60 hertz hum to it that was just in the actual, I guess, in the power supply itself or something. I got that replaced, and the new one is just completely noiseless. Fantastic. So like once I replaced sort of like my actual stuff and I ran my cables correctly, that pretty much alleviated like 99% of my line noise. My noise floor is like virtually nothing now. I have gates on the streaming audio feed that you're hearing right now that are so subtly set up to only gate like if there's like no noise. Like they only gate because there's a little bit of that like line, because there's line noise and everything. So it's like you can't eliminate line noise completely. It's going to be there, even if it's going to be like the slightest like low dB of like just like a hiss, like a high frequency hiss. Like that's gonna exist. And I have a gate on there that only triggers if it's just the lightest. It's like so quiet and it triggers. And so like when I'm not talking, it should be completely silent. I mean, dead silent. I got them right here. Show streaming setup. I got it right here. So I'm running Reaper on the streaming PC now with the Scarlett. If you weren't here last week when I was talking about this, this is a whole other thing I revamped 2 weeks ago. I got the Scarlett Focusrite, or is it Focusrite? It's the Scarlett i2i. So it's just 2 inputs and 2 outputs, line level. And I run those into voice meter. Show voice meter. Show voice meter. Show streamer bot. Show voice meter. I wonder why that's not working. Hold on, let me look that up. Huh. That's weird. OBS Studio set active scene voice meter cap. I do have the voice meter cap. And I do have, oh, is it because voice meter's not open? Maybe that's what it was. Show streamer bot. Show streamer bot. Show voice meter. There you go. Okay, because voice meter wasn't open, so it got confused. Coordinating RF live next to an airport. Oh my God. Figure 8 it helps a lot. So when you're saying like as you're running the cable to its input, like do figure 8s as you're doing that? Is that what you mean? I need to know. I was out of the game before giant IEM rigs were commonplace. Lucky for me, we'd only have 1 or 2 wireless mics on stage at once. Power specifically, but yeah, interesting. So it really is the fact that it's in one line. That's really what does it. That's so weird. That's crazy stuff. Anyway, the setup, the streamer PC setup now is that I have a Focusrite Scarlett 2i2 coming in direct, just beautiful. I think that little interface, dude, those things, if you're looking for getting into audio production, podcasting, streaming, anything, and you want the most clear, pristine audio at the best price point, it's the Focusrite, obviously. They're amazing. I can't even believe the price point for what it is. It's a phenomenal little box. But I got the 2i2 in here, so I'm just sitting in stereo ins and stereo outs. And everything is pretty much in the streaming PC except Reaper from the audio PC. I send that in, then everything is within the stream PC now. And I had inputs and outputs going from every which way. But the only other show streaming setup, the only other thing now is, it's these gates. I have these gates and they're very, they're so subtle. Like if I turn them off, toggle stream audio, check. Okay, so now I hear what you're hearing and it's delayed, so it's hard to speak. But if I turn off the 2 gates I have here, you turn it up, you can hear the hiss. There's a hiss, like a tiny little hiss. And then if I turn the gates back on and turn it up, it's gone. No more. But that's it. Oh God. Toggle stream audio. Check. Oh, Jesus. That is unbearable. That's unbearable, man. But it's super cool. So with voice meter, I have voice meter, show voice meter. I have voice meter basically has hijacked the ASIO settings from the Focusrite and is using it as its engine, but voice meter's in control. And so everything goes into voice meter and then it goes to Reaper and then comes back through the patch bay. So if you open up, you can, in voice meter, you open up system settings and there's this little patch bay here. And you can see these cyan selections down here. Those are going in and coming back to Reaper. They're like inserts. And so I'm sending to Reaper and sending back. And so I can put effects and all kinds of stuff and just basically treat it like a Reaper session, except that I can also use all the other inputs and outputs in the Stream PC. So I'm sending stuff to myself, sending stuff to you, stuff's going to other stuff. Like the backing tracks are going to you and me, but I'm also having effects on those, but it's all going through Reaper and coming back into Voice Meter, and then it's going out to the stream feed. And that's the way I can actually hear the final stream delivery. For the entire time I've been streaming for 11 years, I was never able to hear the final stream delivery audio. Isn't that the craziest psychopathic thing you've ever heard? I never was able to hear the final stream delivery audio, ever. I could never hear it. The only way I'd be able to hear it is if I recorded a video, talked, and then stopped recording, and then opened up the video and watched it. Then I could be like, okay, that's what the audio sounds like going to the stream. I don't know, man. I guess I had an I only work here mentality. Show Reaper. Anyway, 8 labs at once sometimes. Do a lot of talking head stuff. God, it reduces the polarity shift of something. Straight line is okay, but slack needs to be coiled in 8s. That's crazy. Oh, so like a power cable, if you have too much line, don't wrap it in a circle because it literally does create like an electromagnet. Is that what you're saying? Oh my God. That's insanity. That's crazy. All right, I'm gonna have to do a little cable management. The Steinberg interface has DSP-FX's gate, reverb, compressor, guitar amp, all with 0 latency, even an auto-tune kinda 0 latency plugin. That's pretty cool. Which interface is that? Computer, make a note. Computer, make a note. Check out the Steinberg interface. That's so crazy. D feedback software they keep reading about, that stuff looks amazing. My A1 has been looking into it, but we still ring rooms. Ring rooms, does that mean that you like find the feedback frequency and then cut it by sending it purposefully through? Hey, I'll be back in just a second, and then we're gonna do what we actually were gonna do today, because I actually wanted to do something. So I'll be right back. Thanks for hanging out. Play music. Kill the mic. kill music. Oh, wait, was I finished with this one? Oh, geez. Oh, geez. Desk lights. Show Reaper. GoCam 8. Okay. So we got the MX200 hooked up. Everything's working great there. I think I have it saved as a plugin as well, or a track thing, the deal. Did I do anything here that I wanted to change? I don't think so. I think everything's fine. I'll just go ahead and save this though. Okay. So I guess I'll hit playback on this so that my voice can still be heard. And we'll go ahead and go here. So here we have Masochist, the first song off of Stuck. I do hear some low pops in the mic. I had to double check my ears on Audition to see them. In this mic right now that you're listening to me talk through, I messed with the attenuation of this microphone, but it just kind of sucks, honestly. It's just not the best microphone because, yeah, it's got some SH, like sibilance popping, crackling in it. And I turned the attenuation. It's like there's this middle ground where it's like the more you attenuate it to not do that, the more noise floor it adds. And it becomes this like really bad buzzy noise floor. Like if I take off the EQ, this is the noise floor. And that's with it EQ'd out. But there's still this line noise on it. And now that's gated out. But it's like, it's basically just a compromise. And I guess it's just because it's a lav mic that's wireless. I don't know. I mean, maybe I could down the road think about getting a better one, but it's all right. It's not the best. But yes, your ears are not deceiving you. It definitely does have a little bit of crackle pop in it. But it should just be from the mic itself. It shouldn't be from like any sort of like interface latency or anything. Yeah, let me look at the processor actually, the performance meter on the streaming PC. Yeah, I mean the streaming PC has 2.67 milliseconds to process each sample block, and it's doing it in like, oh wow, that did take 2.3 milliseconds, however. Oh, this is actually a great test because we are streaming and we're recording too. So now we're actually seeing what's going on. I wonder if I should see. The only issue is if I up the latency with this, I'm going to have to like do a bunch of delay compensation stuff because I have all the videos, I have the audio, everything is delay compensated. I'll have to maybe audition some of this stuff after the stream to see what it's doing. But it looks like right now, oh yeah, we took more. We just took more than we were allotted. So yeah, you might actually be hearing a little bit of crackle popping from the streaming PC's latency buffer being too low because it's at 128 right now. And at 128, we get 2.67 milliseconds of processing time. And it looks like we just hit 2.9. So that means that it's too much. So we're getting dropouts. So that's what you're hearing. I'm sorry that you're hearing that. Off stream, I will switch it to 256 and then I'll delay compensate everything. Because what am I going to have to do? I mean, I guess I could technically just look at how much it adds when I do that and then add that to the video PC's delay. I mean, it's not going to add that many milliseconds though. I'll just do it now. And then if you noticeably see me or the audio feeds like significantly delayed compared to what you're seeing on the picture, then just let me know. But I'll just switch that right now. So we're at 128. I'll go to 256. My audio is going to drop out for a second. Oh, that's right. I can go up in smaller increments. Let me try 160. check 1, 2. Okay, so now we're at 160. And that shouldn't really have changed much in terms of the syncing. And now we have 3.3 milliseconds of processing time. And I don't think we went that high. We only went to like 2.9. So I think this should be pretty good. But I'll have it hold the longest block, and I'll keep an eye on it. But thank you for mentioning that, because I didn't realize that. Because yeah, you're absolutely right. There's definitely been some cracking and popping on the streaming PC side, not on the audio PC side, but on the stream PC side. Oh, that just used 389. Oh, it's demanding more. It's demanding more. All right, I'm gonna up it a little more. You give it a little once more. Let's go to I'll just go up to 256. Okay, we are now at 256. We've got 5.33 milliseconds of processing time. So we should be good now. Does my clapping look okay? Does it seem pretty synced still? Show cams. Does that seem all right? Yeah, I'm having it hold. We just hit 4.4 milliseconds. Seems good. Good. Excellent. Yeah, adding a couple milliseconds shouldn't be need a full SMPTE pattern. Yes, I'll get right on that. I don't know what that is, but I'll get right on that. I'll do some research with Grok. Yeah, so we're at 4.4. The CPU's using 10%. Let me take a look and see what the GPU's doing. I was thinking about moving the voice control software back over to the stream PC. Oh my God, the GPU's at 71%. Yikes. How's everything else doing? You know what I also learned over this whole situation was that you can only use the extreme memory profiles if you're only using 2 slots in the memory slots, because I had 128 gigs of DDR5 RAM in both the gaming workstation and the audio piece. No, not the gaming workstation. No. I have 32 gigs in that, but it's 7,200, and that's running great. But in the stream PC, over the years, every computer over the years has been the audio PC at one point in time. So I've gotten a lot of RAM depending on when I have that PC. So the stream PC had 128 gigs of DDR4, and I didn't realize that I couldn't use. So it was running at like 2,000 speed or something like that. And then I was like, wait a second, I can use the profile if I have less sticks in there. So I took 2 of the sticks out. And so now it has 64 gigs, but now it's running at full extreme profile speed of like 3,000 something DDR4. And then in the audio PC, I had 128 gigs because I was thinking it was for like the orchestral sample libraries. That's why I had it. And I don't really use those too much, especially now that I'm playing violin. It's like I'm not going to use string libraries. I may use the horn stuff, but for that I use infinite woodwinds and brass, and that stuff's not. I think that's more modeling than it is actual sample based. It's like modeling based orchestral stuff. Anyway, point is I don't use 120 gigs of RAM in the audio PC. So I took out the 64 other 2 sticks, and now I just have the 2 sticks in there. And now that stuff's running at 6,400, and it was running at like, I want to say it was running at like 4,000 or something. It's like there were all these little like efficiencies that I didn't realize I was missing out on that I was totally capable of. I feel like we've really turned a corner with all that stuff. I don't know why I brought that up though. I guess just because I opened up the task manager in the stream PC to see what was going on. Okay, so so the longest processing block we've had now is 4.75% or 4.75 milliseconds on the streaming PC, and we have 5.3 milliseconds of window. So we should be good now. I am old. What latency do you mean? What are we talking about? I'm not sure what we are talking about. Miller, will you post that? Will you check out the Discord? Will you post that in the Discord? Computer, make a note. Check out the link that Miller posted. XMP applies to my 64 gigs of DDR4, and Is that a new limit for DDR5? I don't, well, for mine, it's 2 sticks of 32. I don't know if it's related. Ooh, this is weird. Oh, it's not weird at all. Everything's fine. I don't know if it's related. I don't know, but I'm just speculating. I don't think it's related to the actual size of the stick of RAM. I think it's related to the actual channel, because when you're doing like dual channel or something like that, it can't do the XMP profile or something. That's the vibe from what I remember. So as soon as I took out the other 2 sticks of 32s, and now I have 2 sticks of 32, it's all good. So I assume if you had 2 sticks of 64, if your computer could do it, then you probably could run the XMP profile. But I only have 4. I had 4 sticks of 32. By the way, I'm thinking of, I'm undecided about it, but I'm thinking about selling the other RAM sticks I have, because I don't see myself needing them anytime soon. And it's like, RAM is insane now. It's insane. I was talking about this a couple weeks ago, just how weird it is to like go from seeing technology get cheaper and cheaper every year to now we're seeing it get more expensive. However, it seems like monitors are getting cheaper because people aren't building as many PCs and they had a lot of stock of monitors. So I feel like peripherals are actually coming down a little bit, but the actual things that are needed that AI could use, that's basically non-existent. Metallic Soap, what's going on? I used to tune in years ago. Happy to see you're still rocking. Yeah. Still keeping it going. Is that an Arc Raiders badge? Dude, I got down in some Arc Raiders, dude. I sent off my first belt. Was it a belter? It's not a belter. I sent them across the belt. Is that what it's called? The Rust Belt. The Rust Belt, yes. I sent my first Raider across the Rust Belt, and then I haven't opened up the game since. I got so obsessed with that game for like a month. Like, I mean, we're talking like, dude, loot goblin, bro. Like, it was unhealthy. I got an unhealthy obsession with Arc Raiders for a bit. God, that game is so gorgeous, so beautiful. I'm a sucker for gorgeous games. Red Dead Redemption 2, The Last of Us, original PS3 version, Dead Space, original. I love pretty games. And Arc Raiders is one of the most beautiful games I've ever played. So gorgeous. And the sound design is unparalleled. The sound design is fantastic. I don't know. It could have changed. I heard some people have been complaining a little bit about it because I think they've changed some stuff. But anyway. Yeah, sell it. I think there's something coming up since I listened to Jay's 2 cents lately. Is that right? Is that the helicopter game? No. The helicopter game's Reforger, Armor Reforger. Dude, I haven't played anything. I'm not completely honest. I did log in to DayZ for like 20 minutes the other day, because if you bury crates, they only last for 14 days. And I was like, how long has it been since I went to those crates? And it had been 12 days. So I was like, oh my God, I got to go check on those crates. So I logged in and I checked on the crates, and the crates are still there. But then I logged off. And since that, before that, I don't remember the last time I played anything. I've been working on this stuff pretty much exclusively. Dude, you should see the cabinet room, which is the old white studio. It's just like a complete disaster. It's a disaster. It's like you just start pulling one cable out, then you start pulling more cables out, and then you got to look for an adapter, and then you got to get this stuff. Dude, I pulled out so much cabling from the system. There was so many things going on. Like, I was coming out of the stream PC, going into a mixer, and then I was sending Reaper into that mixer, and then I was combining them together and sending them back into the stream PC, and then I was sending different mics into the stream PC for like voice control, and then I was sending different feeds from the gaming PC and from the stream PC back into Reaper on the audio PC, and then back into the stream PC for the backing track stuff, because that was the only way I could figure out at the beginning to do it with the VOD stuff, because the VOD track is the backing tracks, and that doesn't go on the VOD. It's a mess. But I pulled out a lot of cable. What was the other thing? There was like a cable I got that I was like, oh my God, this cable. I can't believe I had to get this actual cable. What was that? Oh yeah. I got a couple more optical cables so that I could run outs through the ADAT, because I'm now using all of my PreSonus Quantum outs because I got rid of all the mixers. So basically, everything that I need to hear comes out to the Behringer line mixer now. And I have the line mixer only going to me. You guys don't hear that anymore. Used to, I would have everything go to the line mixer, and then I would send it out to me and send it out to you. And then I had a secondary mixer where I would send all my backing stuff that only I wanted to hear, like click tracks on Reaper, or if like, back channel audio on the stream PC, if I needed something to hear something that didn't need to go through to the stream. And then the line mixer had noise. So I put in a secondary mixer. So both of us had different mixers, and then all that stuff was routed together with different analog lines. It was just a complete debacle. And now everything I need to hear comes out from wherever it is just once, goes into the line mixer, and then directly to me. And then everything you need to hear is already in the streaming PC and never leaves. And the only thing that's not already there is the audio feed that you're hearing right now from the Audio PC Reaper. So everything is completely contained. There's no digital analog conversion anywhere anymore. But in doing that, I ended up using up all of my PreSonus Quantum ins and outs, and I'm using all of the inputs on one of the ADA 1800s. Is that what they're called? The Behringer analog ADAT preamps. The second one, I'm using 2 of the inputs, but then I didn't have enough outputs, and both of those ADA 1800s have 8 outputs, XLR balanced outputs. But I couldn't use them because I didn't have the optical cables for them, because I never thought that I would need to go out of the ADATs. So I got 2 more optical cables. So now I have 16 more channels of output. I've got 24 inputs and 24 outputs, dude. Like, this is like legit studio level outputs and inputs, bro. Like, we're like sending stuff places now, bro. We're like going in and out, bro. Like, we can like hook up a drum kit, bro. Like, we can like put a drum mic in this situation, bro. Do you see this? Turn on months. Turn on months. Turn on prefix. Turn on prefix. Turn on other. Turn on other. Dude, I think there's something going on with my feed because the gaming PC is running the voice control now, and I think there's something wrong with that mic input. I'm gonna have to check that out. It seems like it's not truly understanding me as clearly as it normally does. Usually it's dead on. But it seems a little, I don't know. Yeah, it's getting everything right now. I can see it transcribing everything as I speak, and yeah, I don't know, man. Strange. But anyway, Dohan has just returned for 129 months. Nice. That's a lot of months. 129. See, that shouldn't have happened. Oh yeah, look at that. I said 129 and then it sent it as 120 months. That's crazy, dude. It shouldn't have done that. I told it the other day. I was like, do not send it out unless I specifically say the actual words in the queue, and it literally just did not do that. We're going to have a chat. We're going to have a chat. The ticket says, but can it handle this? The ticket says, but can it handle this in spiraling? That's not what it was, but you know. It's okay. That's right. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. Dude, thank you so much for the resubscription. 129 months since the beginning. X Air is nice too because it's because it's rack mount and just iPad or app. From Summer Stream called Mix Key. You guys got all kinds of knowledge with this stuff. Like, I gotta check all this stuff out. Oh, look at it's confused. Phase detect autofocus. It wants to focus on the 3090 Ti right there. It's like, oh, look at those colors. Is that the yeah, that's the 3090 Ti. It's not math at all. Come on. Look at me. Oh. Is it like rounding numbers? No, I don't know. When it does those like assumption cues, I don't know what it's doing. I honestly don't know. Cause like, yeah, sometimes it'll just send a cue. It'll be like, you said this, but I'm sending it like this. And I'm like, I never said to do that ever, but it just added that functionality. And that's part of the weirdness about vibe coding now is like, this stuff is complicated enough that it's like, I can't really go in there and really decipher exactly what's happening. Some stuff I can, but most of the time it's not happening. Oh, that's okay, Alka. It's a mess. It's an absolute mess. I don't want to waste your time with it, but I really appreciate it. Claude can explain. You know, it's funny. I don't use Claude. I haven't used Claude in a while. I use Grok and Gemini. I forgot to cancel my Grok thing, and it like recharged me, and so now I have it, so I'm using it. But Gemini is not bad. Gemini seems to. It's weird. They complement each other. Like it seems like if one can't do it, the other can. If one can't, the other can. But I've heard that the new Claude stuff is really good. So I might have to like check out Claude again. It seems like they all take over for a little bit every here and that, but they're also good at this point. I mean, I started using this stuff pretty heavily like in 2023, I want to say, and it was just so bad back then. It was so rough, dude. Oh my god, countless hours sunk into it. What's up, Timmy? GPT 5.6 and Grok 4.5 tomorrow. I'll try vibe coding some Reaper scripts. 4.5 is coming out tomorrow. Then I might have to check it out. I might have to check that out. But yeah, it's good to have at least two so that like if something is working weird, you can have the other one take a look at it. It seems like Gemini is really good with Reaper stuff, like JS effects, RIA scripts, the Reaper API stuff. It seems, I don't know if it like has better search ability or something like that, but it works really well. But then Grok, sometimes like if Gemini screws something up, like I can feed it into Grok and Grok will just fix it. But it seems like Grok has a harder time, depending on what it is, to find certain specific things. Like, because Reaper 7.7 is out now, and it's like Gemini seems to understand like the most up-to-date version of Reaper because there's some new features that have just recently come in. Although one of the features doesn't work for me. It's a feature where you can drag plugins to empty spots. Mine doesn't work. I don't know if it's because of my themes, but my config file is so humongous now in Reaper that it's like I don't even want to try to investigate it. Because if I went back to the default, I'd lose everything. I have so many RIA scripts going all the time. But there are a couple other cool features I'm trying to remember for Reaper that, I mean, they're always releasing new features. You can't even keep up with it. Anyway, so let's check this out. Let's see if we can get anything done here as far as this song. I went through and I re-exported all of the lyric videos as ProRes 444 proxies. And so they're a lot bigger now. They used to be like 14 megabytes each, and now they're more like 500 megabytes each. But apparently in ProRes, every single frame is rendered and compressed in its own way or something. So the Reaper video player doesn't have to work as hard to play the video, even though it's a higher data. But I'm using PCI 5 NVMe drives. I have an NVMe drive in a heatsink in a PCIe slot on the audio PC at PCIe 5. So like that thing transfers at like 2 gigs a second. It's crazy how fast that drive is. Sometimes I'll drag a file over to the drive and I won't even know it transferred because it did it so fast that it doesn't even like pop anything up. It's crazy. So I'm not really too worried about the data transfer speeds in real time on this. It's more about, I want to eliminate as much processing as possible from the CPU at all. And apparently ProRes files do that. So I went and I re-rendered all the lyric videos for circles. Those are done. I also had to change those to white text because they were this orange text that didn't key out very well for the overlay. And then on Stuck, I went ahead and just re-rendered those out as ProRes proxies and got those imported. So those are all imported now. Show Reaper. Reaper 8 is around the corner, is it? That's awesome. Turn off other, turn off months, turn off prefix. I need to turn off just sections of categories because I do want to leave some of the categories open and on. Show gaming setup. See, this is the I don't think I have a zoom ability on this one, but this is the voice control software. And you can see there's these categories here. And like turn on months. See how months just turned on? Turn on other. See how others turned on now? Turn off other. Turn off months. Anyway, I need to figure that out. It's a cool little app now, but yeah, it's a vibe coded mess, honestly. Show Reaper. Dude, so it says that we have had to do a longest block of 5.97 milliseconds on the streaming PC. It's like, how big of a sample block do you need? I wonder if I need to eliminate some of these plugins I'm using. Because I mean, I got a lot of PDC on some of this stuff. On the audio PC feed that you're hearing right now on the streaming side, the mastering chain, I guess you could call it, before the delivery to you has 13,000 samples of PDC. So that's kind of a lot. But I'm going to reset the graph and see if we get back up to the 5.33 overage, because that's not good. Anyway, are you keying the text? I don't know what you mean. Am I keying the text? What I do is I have a text file of the lyrics, and then I feed it to AI and I say, make a PNG. Is that what I say? Yeah, I say make a PNG of every one of these words, make it in this font, and make it as big as it can be without going outside of the 1920 by 1080 frame. And then it makes all those. And then I go through in DaVinci and I listen, I play the song, and then I hit the marker key every time there is a word. And then I import all of the PNGs to the markers. And then I export it. Once it's a video, you're keying the video of the text in OBS. Oh, yes, I'm keying it because there's no alpha channel in the video. It's because it's on the audio PC. So I'm sending, the video window is on the audio PC, and it's sending to all the monitors that the audio PC is connected to, but then it's also sending that feed to the video PC over HDMI. And then inside OBS on the video PC, I am keying out the black background. Yes. That's what you meant. Cause yeah, I'm trying to think like, yeah, to have the video run and show up. I mean, I could hook up the lyric monitors, those TVs back there in the back. I could hook those up to the video PC, and I could have the lyric videos run from the video PC, and then I could have them run with alpha. I could export them with alpha, and then I could just have Reaper trigger the start of the video, and then Reaper wouldn't have to do it at all. Why do you make me think about these things? No, it's good. It's good. And then I wouldn't have to run those two monitors with Reaper at all. And then Reaper could have more processing back. I wouldn't have to run those monitors at all. I wouldn't have to run the video window in Reaper. Reaper thinks I just said hit it, but I did not. So it just started the song. Go cam 8, toggle front close up. Go cam 8. Timecode cues from Reaper. I'm unfamiliar with like using time code for that kind of stuff. Like, how would I get the time code over to OBS on the video PC? Is there like some plugin or something I could use? I do still need to use OBS on the audio PC to capture and send to you. I've tried NDI, but NDI uses so much bandwidth that I abandoned it. Yeah, so it's an audio signal. So I guess I would send it. Oh, I would send it an output. I just send it over an output to the video PC input. That's so insane. Oh my God, this like really changes things. Because that would just alleviate so much processing on the Reaper side. I mean, it's really not that much because when I do look at the performance meter here, oh God, not on this song though. Let's go to already done. That's pretty chill. So yeah, the lyric video is this one. And it's like when we're in the middle of the song, it might be a little loud right now. I'm not sure how loud my vocal mic is compared to how loud this music's going to be. But the music's like boosted to be at like 0 dB and then a -6 to you, and then it gets limited back to 0. So it's definitely going to be a little louder. Anyway, if I hit play here, if I'm really loud right now, just turn down just a little bit because this is going to be definitely louder than my voice. But even if you hit play during the song, it's like the video window. The video window's fine. Yeah, I mean, it's the media CPU 0.01%. It's not using anything on the effects CPU because there's no effects running through it. So it's like, we're not getting any media X runs. There's no, so video load does use a little bit of percentage here and there, but I have it preloading a bunch too. Let's reset the graph. Now, it's definitely going to give us some overages because I have the master project with my vocal mic that you're hearing right now running. So like this 0.41 milliseconds is just simply because that session is running right now. But yeah, the video track's not really doing anything. It's not really costing us anything. So like, I'm sort of like averse to setting up an entire new video system. Because just it would take so long. It would take so long, dude. Oh my God, it would take forever. I mean, it wouldn't take forever, but it would take a while. Because I want to but yeah, it's like if I were to build that, then I could just use it as I'm going through and doing all this. All of the lyric videos could live in a single folder. I could just rename them all to the song name, and then it would just queue it based on its Reaper project tab. I would just look at the project tab, and the time code could say, hey, start the project tab video based on this name. And then the audio PC wouldn't have to do anything. The audio PC would not have to do anything. I think you could avoid the keying with the screen blend mode on the source. Oh, the screen blend mode? All right, let's see here. So if I go to lyric overlay, filters, I'm not doing a key on the audio PC. I'm only doing the key on the video PC, and it's not taking that much processing, so it's not that bad. But if I were to, let's get an actual word going here. There's a word. Okay. Now if I go to, okay, so it is keying right now because you can see my face, but you can also see the word. So you're saying blend mode of the lyric overlay. Where's the blend mode? Right click the source. Blending mode. Okay, let me turn off the color key. That changed the way it looks too. All right, blending mode screen. And now if we go back to here. Yeah. So it's still not doing it unless I did the wrong blending mode on the wrong thing. screen is an invert. Multiply, invert. Oh, it's not there. I hit my head on a coffee table when I was like 8. My brother still has that coffee table. Every time I see it, I get trauma. I'm just kidding. It was like the shape of Texas, and it had this point, like the bottom of Texas's state. And I slammed it, dude. And I put my hand like that because it hurt. And then I pulled my hand down and I looked at it and it was covered in blood. And I just went, Mom! Or blend? Say what? Oh, okay. Maybe you're doing something mysterious. Yeah, so like if it's just, okay, so if I go back to blending mode normal, so this is what it actually looks like. So it's got some like gray in it, which is weird. It looks, oh yeah, it's got the, we have the move plugin on it so that when people want to turn the opacity down and up, so maybe the opacity isn't all the way up right now. Does that affect it if you have like a filter, like a color color key on it that's doing that? Yeah, now it's on dim lyrics. It should be fine with filters. That's weird. So this is what it just is right here, and then yeah, blending mode, add. I wish I could change it when I'm not on that scene. I could probably do it in preview, huh? If I do studio mode and then I go here. Okay, so what we need to do is go out of studio mode. I'm on the G92 now, and then I go back into studio mode so I can do this. And then you can see, if I do this, you can see me. Okay, cool. So you can still see me. So now I can actually change the blending mode while you're watching. So subtract, that's completely gone. Screen, it doesn't seem like it's working right on screen. Multiply, it's completely gone. Lighten, nothing. And then darken, it's completely gone. So yeah, I don't know. But the filter is the color key, and I'm just color keying out black. And that works all right. So I don't know. The blending modes needs to be on the same scene with the camera. Oh, that makes sense. That makes sense. Okay, so if I go to lyric feed and then I turn off the color key filter, now I'm back on the camera. And if I hit this and then I go blending mode and I go screen, there it is. You did it. We did it. Now, the only issue now is still the opacity thing because I have the opacity setting. Could somebody claim that award to make the opacity change? It doesn't seem like it's doing anything now, huh? Is it because, let me see. I go back to this and I go to the filters. Brightness. Dim. Yeah, so it's doing opacity. It's doing the opacity of the color key. So if I take the color key and then can I like turn off the color key without turning off the color key? Can I like make the color key not work, but still have the color key on? Because yeah, like what's happening, show video setup. So what's happening is I don't think I can zoom in on this. Oh, I can. Nice. Um, so this Brighton lyrics thing, it affects the color key and the dim lyrics. So those two awards you get, it's like when you brighten the lyrics, you click that, and then it does the color key opacity, and then dim lyrics does the color key opacity. So if I take away the color key, I'm gonna have to change the brighten and dim to be the opacity of what? Of not a filter, right? It's gonna have to be like a source. Wait, audio video filters. Can I just do like a color correction and then do opacity of the color correction? Ooh. Okay, so what was it? 0.08. Move value type, single setting. Okay, and then it's 0.08. I hope it doesn't change anything else when I do this. I don't know if I want to do this right now, because if it changed anything else, we're screwed. I'll take a look at this later. I'm going to remove this for now. But yeah, I'll just put a color correction on there, and then I'll do the opacity from there, and then I won't need the color key. What am I doing? It was on here, right? So if I do the blending mode to normal. What's going on here? Aha, there we go. But that's fine. I mean, is it wrong to be using the color key? Because I mean, it seems to work okay. And it's on the video PC, so it's like the processing is fine. That CPU is only running OBS. Oh yeah, you can see it very faintly there. Interestingly though, I can't. What the heck? Can you see it right now? Because I can't. I can see it on the video PC, but I don't see it on the streaming PC. It might just be that the like contrast is like down or something. You can? Okay, good. Yeah, I can see it on the video PC, but not on the other ones. Wouldn't it make sense to cut the video in DaVinci Resolve and export as video with Alpha Channel, or do I get something wrong here? You only have to sync the video. Yeah, I think it would make sense to export with an Alpha Channel and then run it from the video side. Run it from the video PC. It's just when I started doing it, I just ran it in the video window on Reaper because that's just, it worked, you know? But show Reaper. Like I said, though, I mean, it's not really adding anything. If I can get down to below 0.36 milliseconds processing time with the video running in Reaper, I'm kind of okay with that, because I just don't, the amount of time it's going to take to move everything over to the video PC would be a pain. It would take a few days, a couple days at least. Make sure everything's working correctly. But that is an interesting idea, though, using time code and then just triggering it there. The only issue is that, like, yeah, I mean, I guess I would just, yeah, I would just have to, God, I would have to re-export everything with the Alpha channel. And then, but I mean, that almost sounds like kind of just like overkill, though, at the same time, too. Like, excuse me. In a perfect world, I would have all the lyric videos in 4K with an Alpha channel with really smooth fades. As it is now, some of them I made in Adobe 10 years ago. Some of them I made in DaVinci. Some of them have decent looking fades. Some of them, the fades look weird. Some of them, the text looks weird and blocky. I mean, it's just like, if I could easily, like, it's like, if I could easily create like a program where I could just send in all the text of all the lyrics, and then it would automatically convert every lyric to like a frame. And then, God, because it's like, yeah, I'd have to go back through and do a lot of them over. Yeah, I gotta shelve this thought because it's like, that's a project that I think is worth doing, but I'm going to stay focused on the audio side of it right now because there's so much with the audio that we have to figure out first before I start doing that. Because that's going to be like a week because I'm going to have to go through and redo a lot of the videos. But it's like, if I were to do that, then what I would do is I would re-render everything out at 4K because we're definitely headed toward 4K. I mean, we're already in 4K like on YouTube and stuff, but we're definitely headed toward 4K. So I would want them to be in 4K so they're nice and sharp in 4K. And then I'd run them with an alpha channel and I would just run them to make sure they're the right sizes because a lot of them are too small. Some of them are weirdly scaled. And it's just because the way I was doing it back then, what it was running through. And when I first did it, it was running through like a 27-inch monitor in the box, in the 6x6 box. And it's just like, dude, times have changed. But yeah, that is smart though. That's a much smarter way to do it is run it through the video PC and actually just have it overlaid there. Then I don't even have to feed it out from the audio PC. Like I can free up that GPU. I'm running an AMD GPU in the audio PC. But yeah, that's a good idea. Why are they lyric videos instead of a browser source or something? So how would you do that with a browser source? Like, what would you do? Screen blending mode is perfect for removing black background. Yeah, definitely. I know that now. A spare Resolume Avenue key? What is that? We'll never get the jams back. Yeah, I definitely have to shelve this. I can't do this now. It's too much. It's too big. And could fire and render the videos all in one as layers. Oh my God. In DaVinci 20, you can do the lyrics automatic with animation synced to the audio. I never checked it, but worth a try. Is it if it's any good, I would definitely do that because I know a lot of the AI features in DaVinci are killer now. I see. Okay, Miller. Just a list of all the text and animations you'd want and have JavaScript render it live. Oh my God. So what you're saying is like you could just make it. God, I feel like just in the last like year, I've started to think in systems more, but I feel like Alka like is like in the system. Like Alka only thinks in the system because it's like everything you think of is just like, oh yeah, that totally makes sense. That would alleviate all of that stupid busy work. But yeah, dude, just have all the text there. But see, like when you say stuff like that, I'm like, that sounds like fairy tale stuff to me because I'm like, wow, just have all the lyrics and then like it would just do it in real time and just render it out. And then I'd never have to even like make a lyric video because all of it would just be there in like a database and it would just pull the right word at the right time and magically make it appear on the screen. How lovely. It's insane to me that you send a video signal between computers. Yes, I know, dude, I was sending freaking audio signals out of the computer, from the computer, and back into the same computer that the audio signal was coming out of, unchanged. Like, I don't know, man. I don't know. I think it's just this, it's the always just trying to wing it sort of mentality. Can we make it work right now? Okay, how are we going to do it? Well, we got to send it out of this PC to a mixer and then back into this PC with no change whatsoever. Just level and line noise changes? Yes, just more line noise and less level. Ugh. That's what I feel like, Miller. I feel like I've been doing it live. I've basically been doing it live. And like I'm finally to the point now where I'm like, okay, let's try to figure this out. But anyway, I'm going to shelve that thought for just a moment because it is a great idea and it needs to happen. And now that you've illuminated me on the thought at all, now I'm definitely going to start thinking about it more, and I'm going to do it sooner than later. However, there are like 150 songs that need to be dealt with first. And the first one is Masochist. So the issue here, dude, is we have so many tracks going. Now, I have done some work on this because it looks as though I do have stuff only happening when it's on. So that's good. I have this plugin that's enabling the track and enabling all of its effects all at once. So if I open up the performance meter when we're not playing back, we're basically running at 0% except for the things that are on, like the main synth is running at 0.21%. And I believe the intro vox is on. Oh, no, it's not on. It turns on right here. Okay, so now it's on and it's running at 0.5. That's unacceptable. That's not good. We're not going to be able to do 12. We're not going to be able to do 16 sample blocks with that. Reset all sliders. I need to turn off the lights while we do this. I did go through and I deleted all the non-essential lights. That's good. I've done a bunch of stuff with this stuff. It's just hard to remember what I've actually done. But yeah, and I'm going to turn off that lights. I'm going to turn off the cams. The mover cam's already disabled. Everything else I think is disabled. Okay. So what we got to do with this. Oh, first things first is looking at the intro vox. We've got Love on it running at 0.35%. The Pro Q is running at 0.02. That's fine. The Pro C2 is running at 0.06. I mean, I don't love that level of CPU usage, 0.07. That's kind of a lot, but it's not crazy. If I can get everything else to run smooth, that'll be fine. The gate runs at 0.1%. That really surprises me. That really surprises me. But what is the Love setting? So we're running Swarm, Shimmer, Delay, Chorus, and Clouds. So yeah, that's a lot of stuff. I don't think I'm going to be able to replace that. But what happens if we just run this track right now as it is? So it's running. Let me, I'm going to turn off my mic. Check 1, 2, test. Test. You're hearing me, but I'm not hearing me because I'm not sending out to myself. There we go. All right. No, I should be sending to you -6. Oh, yeah, I'm just going to... There. Yep, there it is. Okay. I'll give myself a little bit more since this is completely unaffected right now. But let's just throw a little gate on it to get rid of that room noise from the computers. Check 1, 2. Yes. Release 100 milliseconds. Hold attack. All right. If I turn it up, yeah, that kills fast. Okay, cool. Okay, so what's happening here? I'm probably not that loud going to UR, am I? So I'll turn it up a little bit. I'll turn my IO down a little bit. There we go. Yes, there's that. Oh no, that was going to the master. That was going to both of us. Okay, whatever, it's fine. Oh no, that was what I affected. Oh, that's funny. Okay, fine. Whatever, it's fine. Anyway, so now we're running really, really smooth. And if I reset this graph, we're not running that first session anymore. So if I play back here, .28. Yikes. I'll have to go look at the keyboard too and see what it's actually doing. All right, the music's going to start right now. Well, it's loud. Well, we're still only at 0.3.
which is good. It's crazy. We're still doing fine. I'm actually really impressed. Now, I wonder if it's going to be weird if I, like, say something.
Yes. Oh, listen to that. Listen to that. That is like, is that what I think it is? I mean, that sounds weird. Like, what even is going on there? Am I, like, peeking into the preamp or something? Like, what is even happening? Whoa.
I don't even know what that was. So we're still at 0.34, which isn't bad. Okay, here comes the guitar. Why is this so hot? It seems like hot or something. I need to hear already done, because already done is done. It's correct. What? What the heck? What is even happening, dude? Okay, that looks correct. Why? Yeah, I was. But what's weird? Oh yeah, is it doing that? Yes, I'm doing that for you. Oh, I was setting it to myself super hot for some reason. Oh, because yeah, stupid. That was dumb. I wasn't looking at what I should have been looking at. Okay. So yeah, it probably sounded fine to you guys. It was slamming on to me though. 12 dBs way over. But already done, when I look at the mastering here, it's got the Event Horizon clipper and it's disabled. And so I'm like, what is even that about? Because I know that what I've been doing is using the limiter. The MGAJS, and I've just been doing 1 dB and leaving the release time at 200 and the ceiling at 0.1. And I'm sending to you at -6. And so, but I thought I performed already done the other night, but then I think I did more research after that and landed on that limiter. But that's weird though. I thought I did that for this one too, but maybe I only did that for circles. But let me just... Oh, this should have the single reverb. The Valhalla. Yeah, and it does. Okay. So then nothing else should have like the Pro R2 or anything. Okay, so this is the current state of this song. So that is good. I thought maybe like I did something weird where like I accidentally went back to like an old version or something. Let me get the guitar and see if like these levels are correct, because something seems strange. Something seems strange. But now you can hear the low latency new Boss guitar thing. Super exciting. Super exciting.
Ow. Okay, let's see what the level is here on this part. Okay, so yeah, I guess we did circles last week, and I guess I hadn't done that with this or something. It's strange. I thought I had this completely zeroed out to where it should have been, but it must have been circles that I did that with or something, because I feel like I had it pretty close to 0, you know? So it's like if I'm just playing right here, I should be able to pull a little bit more out of the mastering limiter. Okay, so yeah, now we have it at 0, so it should be pretty much with everything else. So let me see what this part sounds like. I'm gonna mute this. Yeah. Let me see what the LUFS is on your side. Show stream setup. So you can see that limiter up there. That's what you're getting. So let's see what that looks like. All right, I brought it back down to like 10 because we want to be around 14 lefts, but we got kind of around 12. So I'm gonna try this one more time, and I think we're in a pretty good spot though. Yeah, that works pretty good. It's just weird. Show Reaper. It's just weird because I thought that I had already figured this one out. That's so strange. How responsive are the lighting cues if you just scrub around? They're pretty responsive. I do have them early though. I've got them, they're all like slightly early. Like I go through and I program them on the beat, and then I have to like if you go in here to like where the actual beat is, this is where the beat is, and this is where the actual light is. So the light is however many milliseconds this is delayed when it actually gets out to it. Because the MIDI is sending CC to over BOEM network, I think. Over BOEM network to the lighting PC, which is running QLC. And I was thinking about different ways to run this part where I could maybe make this a little more efficient, because when you look at the performance meter, these tracks are using processing. Like some of these are using like upwards of 0.03, 0.01. But the thing is that, and it does say it's effects CPU, which I guess because it's not real time though. It's not using my real time effects because it's not record enabled. So it's doing the pre whatever you call it. What is it called? It's using anticipative effects processing. And so those processors, like that, all that processing is pretty fine. It's really just the live processing that is the issue. So I'm not really too worried about these. Same thing with the video. I'm not really too worried about the video either. But yeah, it's like the solo. Like I'm playing the solo, that's 0.3, and the vocal on that part is 0.24. Oh, my wireless mic is on. Usually that's off and muted, so it's not doing any processing. But the lights, yeah, the lights are something that like, they're definitely taking processing. That's for sure. But yeah, I just don't know why I wasn't limited to 0, because I thought that I had figured that out. I thought that I had figured out that I wanted to get as close to 0 as I could in the Reaper setup before I send it to the stream PC. And the fact that I had to change that just now is very weird, and that the clipper was turned off completely. That's strange. So if I turn this off, is it going to automatically show streaming setup? Is it going to automatically, because I have an expander on that track, but I'm pretty far off from that. So let's see if it changes it and gets us up to minus 14 LUFS. Because if it does, that's super interesting that I figured that out, because I was aiming for that, but I didn't think that this low of a level would be able to come up that far. But let's see. Yeah, no, it's keeping us around minus 20. So yeah, I'm going to turn this limiter back on. It's going to get a little louder right now. And then, yeah, that should put us at minus 14. Yeah, it's weird. I just don't know. I gotta be at exactly 10 though. Show audio. Show Reaper. There it is. Love. The screen is my new Winamp skin. Dude, this guitar is so... This guitar thing is so... The new Boss thing is so... It's so performant. What is going on there? Something's going on with like the fact that it's like doing this. It's doing this delay compensation when I first play back. So this thing has this automatic device latency adjustment, and it's bugging like it's starting on when I come back to this project. I wonder if it'll do it right now. Okay, now we're back. No, it's fine. Weird. That's freaking strange. You may need to start playback after changing delay compensation. Yeah, well, I didn't change it, but it's making me do that. It's very weird. Oh, is it because it's sending to that? The guitar is sending to the lexicon. I see. That's what it is. I mean, this is not bad for wireless, man. Yeah, that's what I was doing yesterday. I was playing with the pitch. Oh, did I delete the send? Send to the lexicon. And bypass effect number 2. Change effect number 1 to... Why aren't we hearing anything? Guitar. Lexicon. Pre-fade or post effects. I can hear the whole. Effect type, bypass. Not bypassed. Bypass? Oh, no, that's a reverb on the guitar track. What am I talking about? Hold up. Okay, so that's working. But we're not hearing it. What's going on here? Ah. Speak of the devil. As soon as I said it was awesome, it starts getting weird. Why is this not working? So we can tell that it's going in. We're just not getting anything out of the lexicon. You know, sometimes I did notice yesterday, like I freaked it out. What if I know the MIDI's working. It's not the MIDI issue. That's strange, dude. Well, we're finding all kinds of interesting little things today. What if I do this? Hit that. Oh man, dude, what's going on here? We know we're going into it. No pre-delay. All that. What if we unbypass this one? Ah. So just effect 1's being weird. Why? Why is effect 1 being weird? Are we not? Oh, we're in Cascade. That's why. Oh, and when either one is bypassed in Cascade, they're both bypassed. God. User error. User error. Okay, but now we're in dual stereo. Anyway, the whole point is I wanted to just hear the
the pitch shift one. You can never have enough pitch. Where is it? There it is. Yeah. Oh, I was wondering I changed the yeah, we gotta get it to recalculate the frequency because it ain't liking this frequency. That's the issue with 2.4. Yeah, it's pretty cool because it's like there's basically no latency. Because when you use the Guitar Rig 5 one, we don't need that compressor, dude. We don't need the CQ, brah. We don't need anything. We just need Guitar Rig. Give me Guitar Rig. So if we mute that send, and then we compare it to the pitch that they have built in, just one octave down. And then go compare it.
versus yeah, it's just different, I guess, because there's a little latency, so it almost sounds like it's like a room effect or something. But on this one, it's basically like no latency. It's so sick. That's so cool. There's also some sort of like warble in the one that comes with the guitar rig. And the lexicon is just like clean. Could also put this before, I guess. Oh, whoops. What happened? What happens if you send that guitar one in pre-effects? Very responsive. Very responsive indeed. Anyway. Toggle guitar track. I can't believe how the time is flying, but I must take off. Show cams. Interesting thoughts. Interesting thoughts. Play music. Well, thanks for hanging out. Good times, good times. The video thing is an interesting idea. I would like to eliminate that situation from the audio PC and truly call it an audio PC. That'd be pretty sweet. I'm gonna have to think about that. Might do this again tomorrow. Might do a little bit longer tomorrow. I got like 4 hours of sleep last night, but I'm trying to David Goggins in. Stay hard. Push through the pain. Push through the pain. Stay hard. or else I would stay on a little bit longer, but I'm so tapped, dude. But yeah, I'm thinking though. I'm thinking I'll probably get on tomorrow, and I got a couple loose ends we gotta figure out here. But then of course Friday we're gonna do a live show. We'll see what we can do. We got Circles is good to go. Piano stuff's good to go. Probably do a lot of piano on Friday, dude. I got the Neumann hooked back up on the piano. You can see over there, and primo, so primo. It's so great. It just feels so good singing into that thing now. I don't know why I didn't have it over there for the longest time. Ever since the White Studio, I didn't have it on the piano for some reason. I would use it to record vocals for production, but I wouldn't use it during piano time. And I don't know why I was making that mistake for so long, but I've rectified that, and we are now back on that Neumann during piano time, and it feels so good. Oh my God. It feels so much better. It's like completely reinvigorated my motivation to play the piano stuff. So I'm excited about that. But anyway, we'll do a lot of that on Friday, and we'll play Circles for sure. And I'll get on tomorrow if you want to see how some of this more tech stuff works. I'm undecided. We might do Stuck. We might focus on Stuck. We might also focus on Hype, because Hype is very uncomplicated compared to everything else. It's kind of like Circles, where it's like it won't take that long to get it figured out and to get it low latency performing. And then I think Letting You Go and Not Even Time are the only two songs on Hype that aren't being performed right now, so we could knock those out too while getting the other stuff ready. I mean, like I say, there's not that much to do on those because there's not really that much going on in terms of like the live tracks and stuff. So then we could at least get that album ready. And then Friday we could do Circles and Hype and a bunch of piano stuff. And then just keep rolling with all the other stuff. But the video thing is interesting. I got to think about that, because it would be really cool to get the video completely out of the situation, dude. And then if I could disconnect the video feeds from the audio PC, like I'm sure that would give me some more headroom for processing, even though I know that most of the video stuff is done with the GPU anyway. Something to think about. Anyway, thanks for hanging out. We'll see you later, Blaze. See you later, others. See you later, Master. See you later, Alka. Thank you, everybody. And no raid today, but I'm just going to get off. But I'll be back on tomorrow if you want to come by. Check out the Discord. And that's when I think there should be an announcement there when we go live. Just hitting a trigger in whatever WebSocket way would be way more simple than all that. Yeah, I'm going to think about that, Alka. Thank you. It's definitely something that needs to happen. Hey, Vex is there. What's going on? What's happening, Vex? But yeah, have a good rest of your day, everybody. Whatever you're doing this afternoon, evening, whatever it happens to be, wherever you happen to be, always remember to, never be afraid. Yeah, I'll be back on tomorrow. I'm going to get on a little earlier tomorrow. I think. Get set up early, get on early, and then we'll spend some good hours tomorrow actually getting some stuff done with that stuff. Hopefully, I'm thinking Hype. We'll lean on Hype tomorrow, because I love playing those songs, and the sessions aren't that complicated to get those set up, just like Circles is. Circles is primo, dude. Circles is so ready to go. We're going to kick some Circles ass on Friday. It's going to be good times. But yeah, and the piano stuff, all the stuff, everything's good to go. Good to go. Good stuff, good to go. Good to go. All right, I'll talk to you later. Thanks for hanging out. Have a good one.